Hi friends, I am Uma Devi from Karpagam College of Engineering. Now I talk about needs, threats and attacks of information security. So what are the needs for information security? Information security performs four important functions for an organization. Protects the organization's ability to function. It enables the safe operation of applications implemented on the organization's IT system. It protects the data the organization collects and uses. It safeguards the technology assets in use at the organization. What are the threats to information security? Acts of human error or failure, compromises to intellectual property, deliberate acts of information exhaustion, deliberate acts of sabotage or vandalism, deliberate acts of theft, deliberate software attacks, forces of nature, deviations in quality of service, technical hardware failures or errors, and technical software failures or errors. What are the attacks to information security? An attack is an act or action that takes advantage of a vulnerability to compromise a controlled system. It is accomplished by a threat agent that damages or steals an organization's information or physical asset. A vulnerability is an identical weakness in a controlled system where controls are not present or no longer effective. Unlike threats, which are always in existence, attacks exist when a specific act or action comes into play and may cause a potential loss. For example, the threat of damage from a thunderstorm is present during most of the summer for many places, but an attack and its associated risk of loss only exists for the duration of an actual thunderstorm. The following sections discuss each of the major types of attack used against controlled systems. Major types of attacks. First one is the malicious code. The malicious code attack includes the execution of viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and active web scripts with the intent to destroy or steal information. The state-of-the-art malicious code attack is the polymorphic or multi-vector worm. These attack programs use up to 6 known attack vectors to exploit a variety of vulnerabilities in commonly found information system devices. Perhaps the best illustration of such an attack remains the outbreak of NIMDA in September 2001, which used 5 of the 6 vectors to spread itself with startling speed. True Secure Corporation, an industry source for information security statistics and solutions, reports that NIMDA spread to span the internet address space of 14 countries in less than 25 minutes. So, what are the attack replication vectors? IP scan and attack, web browsing, virus, unprotected shares, mass mail, and simple network management protocol. Second type of attack is the hoaxes. A more devious approach to attacking computer system is the transmission of a virus hoax with a real virus attached. When the attack is masked in a seemingly legitimate message, unsuspecting users more readily distribute it. Even though these users are trying to do the right thing to avoid infection, they end up sending the attack onto their coworkers and friends and infecting many users along the way. Next one is the backdoors. Using a known or previously unknown a newly discovered access mechanism, an attacker can gain access to a system or network resource through a backdoor. Sometimes these entries are left behind by system designers or maintenance staff and thus referred to as trapdoors. A trapdoor is hard to detect because very often the programmer who puts it in a place also makes the access exempt from the usual audit logging features of the system. Next attack is the password crack. Attempting to reverse calculate a password is often called cracking. A cracking attack is a component of many dictionary attacks. It is used when a copy of the security account manager data file can be obtained. The SAM file contains the hashed representation of the user's password. A password can be hashed using the same algorithm and compared to the hashed results. If they are the same, the password has been cracked. Next one is the brute force attack. The application of computing and network resources to try every possible combination of options of a password is called a brute force attack. Since this is often an attempt to repeatedly guess passwords to commonly used accounts, it is sometimes called a password attack. It attacks can narrow the field of accounts to be attacked. They can devote more time and resources to attacking fewer accounts. This is one reason a recommended practice is to change account names for common accounts from a manufacturer's default. Next attack is the dictionary. This is another form of the brute force attack noted above for guessing passwords. The dictionary attack narrows the field by selecting specific accounts to attack and uses a list of commonly used passwords instead of random combinations. Organizations can use similar dictionaries to disallow passwords during the reset process and thus guard against easy to guess passwords. In addition, rules requiring additional numbers and or special characters make the dictionary attack less effective. Next one is the denial of service. In a denial of service attack, the attacker sends a large number of connection or information requests to a target. So many requests are made that the target system cannot handle them along with other legitimate requests for service successfully. This may result in the system crashing or simply becoming unable to perform ordinary functions. So this is an example for denial of service. So many requests are sending to the target machine. Next one is the distributed denial of service. It's an attack in which a coordinated stream of requests is launched against a target from many locations at the same time. Most denial of service attacks are preceded by a preparation phase in which many systems, perhaps thousands, are compromised. The compromised machines are turned into zombies, machines that are directly remotely by the attacker to participate in the attack. Distributed denial of service attacks are the most difficult to defend against, and there are presently no controls that any single organization can apply. There are, however, some cooperative efforts to enable distributed denial of service defenses among groups of service providers. Among them is the Consensus Roadmap for Defeating Distributed denial of service attacks. This is an example for distributed denial of service attack. Next one is the IP spoofing. Spoofing is a technique used to gain unauthorized access to computers, wherein the intruder sends messages to a computer that has an IP address that indicates that the messages are coming from a trusted host. To engage in IP spoofing, a hacker must first use a variety of techniques and to find an IP address of a trusted host and then modify the packet headers. Newer routers and firewall arrangements can offer protecting against IP spoofing. So this is the case of IP spoofing. So what are the remaining major types of attacks? Man in the middle, spam, mail bombing, sniffers, social engineering, buffer overflow, and timing attack. Thank you.